Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We're back out at the track. So yesterday I had Moonshine on the dyno. I've actually had it on the dyno for a few days now, trying to figure out the issue. I had said in my last video that I knew there was a known bug with V6, and I worked through this thing. I changed injectors and we did all kinds of stuff and just couldn't seem to get a handle on the issue. So I went a little bit back and forth with Kevin from KSR, and we talked about stuff, and he's like, you know, there's a known issue with V6. So I ended up sending him a log and the tune file just because I was losing my mind. I'm like, hey bud, do you think you could just look at this and see if I'm missing something? Because I've looked through the thing 10 times, and he said, this is doing the exact same thing our car is doing. Switch back to V5, give it a shot. I was like, okay, I already had a tune half written, tuned it, finished the tune up, threw it in the car, first pull, straight through. I was like, okay, turn it up, straight through. So first pull made 700 horse, threw some more boost at it, 840 horse, threw some more boost at it, 970 horsepower, and here we are. So hopefully it's fixed. I've got everything set up the same way it was at LS Fest. Our HPI injectors are back in the car. Those were not an issue. So we're gonna get the car ready to go, make a couple hits, and see what it does. Hopefully we can go 490s, and yeah, they'll just make it that much better. All right, guys, so we made 2 attempts, 2 fails. First one is spun. There ended up being a little bit of water in my engine diaper, so I had to back it out, clean all that stuff out. Second pass, turned it down a little bit, and it shook the tire. Probably went, I don't know, 5 feet, shook the tire, and then killed the power to the car. So I'm gonna cool it down, make a suspension adjustment. I'm probably gonna try the other lane because that lane's but I'm gonna make a suspension adjustment, make a little adjustment in the tune-up just to get it to go down the track, and then we'll try again.
Got yourself a 5-teen car, boy.
Woo, boy.
Still gotta get that 60 foot back, but
5,
mile an hour's down too, though.
Oh yeah.
What do you think it went?
I think it went at 525.
525.
512.
Look how slow it was to the 62.
Yeah, and I also
And the mile an hour was down too.
I scrambled it. That's because I
Where was
scrambled
the
it
mile
into
an
the
hour at,
safety.
though?
Because dude, I scrambled it before I hit the end, and it went.
Oh, okay.
It was riding the boost safety the whole time. But that's 899. We already had the stock bottom end record. We just reset it again.
We're about to set it again.
Yeah, we're gonna turn it up. We'll turn this thing around. I'll look over the data. So I'm trying to clean it up. But yeah, we were a couple numbers off. I mean, we're a tenth off the 60, and it still went at 336 or
yeah,
330.
Well, 2 mile an hour down to the best you've ever been.
Yeah, but that I hit the scramble just to see it. It was like, bah. So it had a little bit of surge on the big end, but it shifted itself that time. It went right through. So we'll clean up the data, and we're gonna get out there. We're gonna make another hit. We're turn it up just a touch, and see if we can't get that 490. We're 2/10 off, but I think it'll do it. All right, so going over the data log, I'm gonna go ahead and shorten the ramp about a half a second. And I'm gonna give it 2 more pounds when I let go of the button. I'm gonna put 2 more pounds on the brake and 2 more pounds when I let go of the button, and kind of see what it does from there. Hopefully we can pick that 60 foot back up, and if we do that, it will go at 90 up just with doing that. So hopefully I can get it to 60 foot, and it did have a little surge down the track, but I'm gonna clean up the fuel, that's probably what it was, and then I'm not gonna grab the scramble button.
right, Bobby. What's the verdict?
Come on, baby.
What's the verdict?
498, 140 mile an hour, dude. We got a hot rod right here. So close, dude. So close, bro. Just take a guess.
Just give me the tell me. Oh, hell yeah!
Dude. Huh?
Hell yeah!
Come on.
Oh, man.
Isn't that wonderful?
And it's still slow to the 62.
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
All right, let's get a nice picture of that time.
498 at 140.9, almost 141. And it went at 820 and I lifted at the 8th. It was probably a little bit after the 8th, actually. I ran it through the 8th.
Hey, run it out the back. Go 7-7.
I don't know if it'll go all the way out the 8th, but it'll go, or a quarter, but it'll go 7.
Oh, we can't get it to focus. Well,
With
damn.
a surge. Still surging a little bit. I got to get that fuel dialed in, but.
Hey, man, let's get it cooled down and get it ready for another pass.
Another one? Oh, dude, I don't know, man.
I
think
put it back on the trailer. It's still alive.
Yeah, dude. We just put it back on the trailer and save it for another day.
Stuff coming up. You just wait.
Yeah, we got a few more things, you know, to make this thing a little bit faster. But I'm pumped. All right, guys. We have the fastest stock bottom end L83 or LT4, don't matter what it is, Gen 5 stock bottom end record, period. That's awesome. With a rusty old 69 Chevelle we just dug out of a field 6 months ago. I'm pumped. So we're gonna call it for the night. It's getting ready, I think it's getting ready to rain, and I just don't want to take the last ride. You know, bad stuff always happens on the last ride. We'll pick it up again. This car definitely has 80s in it. It had a little bit of surge. The GoPro in the car I brought the wrong SD card and the format was wrong, so it just kept saying error. So unfortunately we don't have any in-car footage, but it's got a little surge. We'll get that out of it, and I'm sure if I can get the 60 foot back, I can pick up a little bit. It'll go 480s, no problem. All right, guys, so I intended on ending this video off right after this, but we had a boost surge issue and the track was open the next night. So what you're looking at here is the run where we went 498 on. The red line is the boost. So you can see it was oscillating like a sine wave, and you can see it a little bit in the RPM. So I had to fix it. When I came home that night, I realized that I forgot to switch the PID settings in my boost controller from the V6 file to the V5 file that I wrote. So I had to test it. So what you're gonna watch next is the very next night when we went back to the track, and they had a payout for the fastest quarter mile time of the night. So I did try to stretch it out on the first pass, and we ended up running into the rev limiter 6 seconds into the run. But here's that footage for you guys. I was slow. It was a little bit slow to the 8th, dude. We were out of gear. Whew. Oh, it's really hot in there, guys. So we went at 805 at 138 mile an hour because when I ran into the rev limiter, it just like slams on the brakes. So 501 at 141, 123 to the 60 foot. That's a little bit slow, but we're just getting faster and faster on those trees. 023 on the light. looks like we broke the input shaft on the trans. Gonna have to get it home, get that yanked out, but we did win fastest pass tonight, so I got a little bit of money. Paid out 250 bucks, not a whole lot, but hey, we won. So fastest pass that went tonight was a 501 to the eighth, 805 to the quarter, and at 6 seconds into boost, I was into the limiter, so it was just out of gear. So that can kind of give you an idea of what it would have done. It would have been pretty well into the sevens on a stock bottom end. So we're gonna get this fixed. We are gonna be in Baytown, Texas for Cletus and Cars. It's October 2nd. Make sure you guys come out there. It's an awesome event. We're gonna have some merch for sale and stuff like that. And Garrett and Cletus and all them, James, are just gonna put on a heck of a show. If you've never came, you definitely wanna show up there. Baytown, Texas, October 2nd. All right, guys, we got all Moonshine up in the air. I got the drive shaft out. It's definitely not the rear end that broke. That feels okay. So we're gonna yank this here tranny out. I do have a spare one it's for my truck, but it's a little bit stouter than this, so I'm gonna go ahead and just swap them real quick. This one's a 176, that one's a 164, so I'll be able to leave it a little bit more power, and we'll kind of see what it is. This converter is just a touch tight, so that might actually help loosen it just a little bit. So we'll see. I'm gonna get this thing yanked out, and then we'll see when it's on the ground, see if I broke the input shaft. All right, guys, got the old trans out. I made a little bit of a mess, got hung up, but input shaft snapped right at the ring. I knew that was gonna be a kind of a weak point on this. Even James's dad was like, hey, don't use that, it's gonna snap. And I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. It wasn't fine. So we'll hit up FTI Monday, get us a new input shaft. I don't even think that's one of theirs. I went ahead, because I had the neighbor help me out real quick. I went ahead and we just stuffed the new one in real quick while he was here. So I just got to attach the cooler lines and all that stuff, get it bolted in, bolt the converter down, and then we should be ready to rock and roll. I actually got to take this thing to get aligned in the morning, so that's why I'm trying to get it done tonight, so that I can get it back on the trailer, so that I can take it and get the front end aligned before Texas. Maybe we can talk James into doing a little bit of a grudge race out there in Baytown for you guys. That'd be pretty dope. But I appreciate you guys watching. As always, stay tuned, and we'll see you in the next episode.